everybody. Let's get this party started. I'm sure you know from looking at the agenda that there's a lot of great content today, and I am very excited to be introducing Michael Casey, who is going to talk about blockchain and how it can impact talent acquisition. Now, I must admit, I had only dimly heard about blockchain before I read Michael's latest book, which, by the way, I highly recommend to all of you. And I certainly had no idea of its potential to change the foundational structures of our economy and society. And even once I began to understand at the most basic and unsophisticated level what blockchain is, it's open, but it's encrypted, it's distributed, but there's no, it's no centralized authority, I still couldn't see what it had to do with HR and with talent acquisition. But as I dug deeper, I began to realize that it actually has a lot to do with talent acquisition, since it's essentially designed to verify facts and to build trust. And speaking of facts, I know that one of the most basic questions a recruiter asks every day, day after day, is, who are you? Who are you? Where did you go to school? When did you go to school? What companies have you worked for before? And I'm guessing that verifying a candidate's identity and their credentials is probably time-consuming. It's probably a bit of a slog. Do they really have the skills they say they do? Did they really go to XYZ university, work for XYZ company? And while you're looking at their social presence, did they really put that picture up on Facebook? These are the kinds of facts or aspects of a candidate's suitableness for a position that blockchain is well positioned to verify quickly without having to rely on expensive or cumbersome intermediary services. So in the effort to bring this idea to life a little bit, I thought about this in the context of my own transition from education to employment. I went to an English university, Exeter University, which has a very different grading system to the one in the US. I got what's called an upper second on my first degree and a first on my second degree. And if you find that confusing, I'm guessing so did the interviewers who I sat across from all those years ago when I was first applying for jobs. They had to trust that I was telling them the truth about my academic qualifications, because there really wasn't an easy way to verify that without making an international phone call. Back during my first degree, I don't think the University of Exeter had widespread adoption of email. And maybe they did call, I'm not sure. But there certainly wasn't an easy way to translate an upper second into an American GPA. So in a way, they had to make an educated guess about my academic qualifications and whether or not that made me an attractive candidate, among other things. Blockchain provides a way around that reliance on human judgment or just sheer human effort in its ability to confirm that I, as a candidate, am who I say I am. Now, in my role at AARP, I spend a lot of time wrestling with this question of identity, of the markers that communicate to the world who a person is and how or whether they should be valued in any given situation. And the reason I wrestle with this question is ageism. Ageism has been termed the last acceptable prejudice in America. We have no problem joking about senior moments or hurrying to assure someone that they don't look their age, or saying, oh, you're too young to remember such and such a situation. But we would never hurry to assure someone that they don't look too female, or make jokes about Asian moments, or not hire someone because they're Black or gay or Catholic. Even saying this stuff out loud sounds horribly offensive. Nevertheless, AARP's latest research reveals that nearly 2/3 of workers 45 plus have either experienced or seen age discrimination at work. And a whopping 76% of job seekers over the age of 45 report that age discrimination is the top limitation they face when finding a new job. By the way, how many of you in the room are over the age of 40? Right. And additionally, now that so much, well, pretty much all of recruiting really occurs online, the opportunity for ageism has increased. In December of last year, ProPublica, along with the New York Times, revealed that Facebook was, that dozens of companies, were using Facebook to target employment ads by age. Now, one might counter that this is how advertising works. I mean, it's targeted, it's always been targeted. But this is digital media, not print or radio or TV. I mean, it would be one thing if these organizations were placing employment ads in channels that are frequented by younger candidates, because then anybody, regardless of age, however unlikely it might be, could stumble across them. But in this case, if you were over the age of, or under the age of 24 or over the age of 36, this ad would be completely invisible to you. There's no chance that you would ever see it. So what are our beliefs about what is old in our culture? AARP asked a couple of people this question, and let's take a look at what they found. Mitch, go ahead with the video.
Just tell us your first name and your age.
My name is Daniela, and I'm 19.
24, 35.
My real age?
What age would you consider to be old?
Late 40s?
I'd probably say 50s.
I'd like you to show me how an old person would cross the street. Show me how an old person would send a text message. What about jumping jacks? Okay, hang on. There's someone I want you to meet.
Hello, I'm Birch. I'm 66.
I'm Dee, and I'm 55.
George Fassbinder, 75.
Okay, now we'd like you to teach each other something that you are good at.
Okay. I can teach you a jump that I do.
Okay, please.
1, 2, 3, lift, 1, 2, 3, and bring it to your heart. Ready?
Okay.
You want to try to get your balance.
And raise up. Add the head in. Yeah.
Now, you bring your legs and your feet up. It's hard, right?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Now, what age might you consider to be old?
Probably 80 or 90.
Do you remember what you said?
Yeah, I said in the 50s. I thought that would be old. But when I thought about it, like...
You've taught me something today. Clearly, there's no way she's old, you know?
There's so many things that I still want to do. There's so many things that I can do. As long as I'm growing and learning, then age doesn't matter.
When people start stopping, that's when they start getting old.
Thank you. I love that video. It's really fun. So we all know diversity is good for business, and I'm guessing you've put a lot of effort into hiring for diversity. So I'm just wondering, as I get ready to turn the stage over to Michael, what role can blockchain play in the quest to eliminate or mitigate the effects of ageism or other kinds of isms in hiring? But at the end of the day, combating age discrimination in the hiring process starts with changing perceptions, and that's where you come in. You have the opportunity to provide strategic guidance and mentoring to the organizations you represent. The widespread view we have of society of aging as an almost universally negative experience contributes to multiple myths that younger workers are cheaper, faster, smarter, more innovative, and more tech-savvy than their older counterparts. None of these myths, by the way, hold up under scrutiny. Now, I am not here to advocate for you hiring anyone who doesn't possess the skills and experience you need for the positions you're looking for. And I'm also not here to advocate for paying someone based purely on their experience rather than what the position entails. But what I am here to advocate for is that we consider all applicants on a level playing field regardless of age, that we prize apart the stereotypes that cling to certain job titles or functions that would make us only gravitate towards younger candidates. And in terms of the candidate experience, that we stop signposting to older applicants that they really aren't welcome. I'm looking at you, Marketing Ninja, job description. What I'm also here to remind us all of, including myself, is that ageism is essentially a prejudice against your future self. Do you really want to continue perpetuating an unconscious or conscious bias that will eventually trap you in its own logic? We need to move away from a mindset that aging is only about decline and diminishment and burden toward a view that older adults are contributors and assets to be leveraged. When did we lose the notion that aging is something to be celebrated? If you ask any 5-year-old if they want to stop getting older or ask them, please stop growing, what do you think you will hear? They will say loudly and emphatically no, because they see aging for what it is: growth, opportunity to learn, and the accumulation of experience. And now I'm pleased to welcome Michael to the stage. Michael Casey is a senior advisor to MIT's Digital Currency Initiative and co-author of both the Age of Cryptocurrency and The Truth Machine. Michael Casey demystifies blockchain, luckily for us, that decentralized record-keeping system driving the Bitcoin revolution. He is also the co-author of The Social Organism, in which he argues that social networks imitate the behavior of biological life. In all works, Casey offers a sweeping vision of how new technologies are empowering people to take charge of their lives, disrupting middlemen, upending business models, and redefining how society is governed. Michael, welcome.